No,
Because they'll say, this guy's a weirdo, you know. I don't want to be like him, I'm going to consume even more meat, you know.
no. Actually, I
'Cause I'm a
would.
bit autistic. And
These interactions of mine are meant to educate and train other vegan activists like myself. These interactions are not perfect. It's a constant evolution. My videos are for you vegans to critique me and help me improve my interactions. And hopefully these videos are also for you to learn from my interactions, to encourage you to do street activism.
Hi, I'm showing the behind the scenes of the industries that abuse animals.
I'm a vegan anyway.
Oh, you vegan?
Even 10-year-old vegans need a little push. Marcus, not used to it, said some out-of-place sentences. Low self-esteem and ADHD is fine to counter with the fact that, to be an activist, anonymously holding a screen and let pictures to paint thousands of words is sufficient. In the first 5 minutes, the biking vegan first gives away a personal outreach problem. As he says at the end, he didn't at the beginning. He brings it up more these days and is encouraged from today's talk to bring it up even more. This is natural for anyone in any circumstance. Won't talk to others about an issue unless they understand it themselves. And after a full 10 years, perhaps now he has his answers fulfilled. His doubts were listened to very well, but the reason for AV can be realized better as its outreach initiates conversation, just like how he had stopped today, rather than being a reclusive and or pick-me vegan. Even psychologists won't know how to handle MRCD, meat-related cognitive dissonance, until they went through many new papers and their own experiments. Until then, often babies stepping around. It wouldn't grow to over 450 global chapters if it wasn't successful. My video of the best vegan street activists explains why. The next doubts were dietary, about coconut oil and protein isolate. Easily remediated doubts. His vegan burgers in question were particularly commercial to wean meat eaters into veganism, proven by their fat decline. Meat eaters are all about fat, salt, and sugar, so that's why plant-based alternatives replicate junk, but still in a far healthier way. No parasites or zoonotic diseases, and no IGF-1 for cancer. A young or active person needs a little plant fat. An older person with excess body weight obviously needs to eat healthy vegan food, not plant-based alternatives, and getting it from coconut oil or avocado oil is better than from sugar, or one can buy or make quinoa burger or soy and beetroot, for example. It's just a mix of ingredients into a shape. The protein isolate is superior to all contested by weightlifters. What doubts do you hear? How would you tackle them in the comments? And remember, if this is useful, like and subscribe for more.
Preaching to the converted.
Oh, great, great. Why don't you join our activism?
I'm too lazy.
Too lazy? I'm
Well,
the... sorry?
I don't know, it's just like, sometimes I wonder if I go on about this, that people will just do the opposite. They'll eat even more meat, you know.
No.
Because they'll say, this guy's a weirdo, you know. I don't want to be like him, I'm going to consume even more meat, you know.
No, actually I
'Cause I'm a
would...
bit autistic and I have ADHD, so
I
maybe they
understand.
see someone like me, you know, they might think, oh, look at that guy, I don't want to be like him, you know.
No, actually it works. I'm the organizer of Anonymous for the Voiceless. We're doing this all over the world.
All right, right.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of activists doing this.
Yeah.
We usually do this with other people, with many people. But at this hour, usually I'm doing this alone or with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you could try, maybe once. If you don't want to talk to people, then you just wear the mask. But it's highly effective.
Do you think so, yeah?
Obviously, yeah, from 2 to 12 people go
Sometimes
vegan.
I wonder if this backfires, you know, because humans are
No.
going to do the opposite of what...
Even if you don't talk to
And like,
them.
I don't know if, sorry, I don't even know if people are convinced that enough that they don't need animal products to be healthy. You know? I'm not sure if they're convinced because there's so much confusion in the dietary industry. And, you know,
That's why I'm here. I'm studying nutrition.
Oh, really?
I can tell them.
Yeah, I'm kind of 90+% sure that it's safe, you know, to be a vegan. Like, as long as I avoid the processed foods, you know, the ultra processed.
Yeah.
Eat mostly whole foods and take B12, vitamin B12, like.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of 90% plus, but I'm not 100%. I just feel that loads of other people, they're not confident enough to believe, you know, they hear all this contradictory information.
Yeah. You mean
Like they're afraid that their health will deteriorate, you know. That's what I think anyway, you know. I mean, if I thought my health was going to deteriorate, I wouldn't be a vegan. To be honest with you, I don't care enough, you know. But like once I feel it, I'll be at least as healthy as I was prior to being a vegan.
You think you're
At least as healthy. Then I feel one has to do it. One should do it. Like, it's morally you know, it's.
It's the healthiest diet there is.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah, I think it is.
It's a fact. It's known.
Yeah. But like, as I said, I've been vegan for 10 years, like, so I'm kind of more or less convinced, you know. But you can never be 100%, you know, and that's, I don't know.
So you're not 100%
But
that it's...
I'm 90% sure it's safe and that I won't shorten my life, you know. As long as I stay away from the fake meat, the fake, you know, those.
There's nothing wrong with those either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's
Please check
Because
nutrition.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's
but
okay.
I'm afraid like people will swap out the meat for all these ultra processed meats. Their health will deteriorate, and then they'll say, that vegan thing doesn't work.
That's not true.
Instead of eating beans and peas and lentils, which is what they should be doing, you know what I mean? Mostly beans, peas, lentils, and starches, you know, whole food, like potatoes and brown rice, oatmeal, you know, whole grains. You know, I think they might, I don't know, some of these things, like, they're so processed, there's so much crap in them, you know? I mean, that people could turn to them and get sick, and then say this vegan thing doesn't work, and we really need to eat meat.
Which bad ingredients are in those?
Well, like, I mean, there's coconut oil, and, you know, those Beyond Meat burgers have coconut oil and lots of salt. And
Coconut
some
oil.
of those isolated proteins, plant proteins, they're not supposed to be the best, are they? Like,
They're in such small amounts it doesn't make a difference.
yeah, right.
So it would be great if you could watch Nutrition Facts, Michael Greger.
Oh yes, I've watched many of them actually.
Okay.
And
And then you have the British Association of Dietetics and the American one, and they say very clearly that you don't need to eat animals and their secretions from even from birth.
yeah, I know, I do. I do agree with it.
And you have vegan athletes, you have vegan bodybuilders,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
and and you have people who don't care about this, but they choose to have a whole plant-based diet to reverse their cardiovascular diseases and some kinds of cancers and also some kinds of diabetes.
Yeah.
So that explains everything.
Yes, their heart disease studies, they were very impressive, yeah. I bought the book, Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, and the before and after images of the artery,
Exactly.
blocked arteries, and that was really impressive for me. Like, I've only got high school biology, but, but that was very impressive, you know.
So
that was part of the reason I went vegan, but also for this ethical reason.
Okay.
It's all the reasons, you know.
So coming back to the activism, if I could convince you that it's highly effective,
Yeah.
from 2 to 12 people go vegan every day, would you change your mind? No harm in trying.
Yeah.
You have your mobile phone, so you can take the QR, or you just Google, Anonymous for the Voiceless.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can. I'm kind of disappointed though. I thought by now, like, maybe 10% of the population would be vegan or near to vegan. That was like when I started 10 years ago. That's what I kind of expected. It's not 10%. It's still only like 1% or something. It's kind of disappointing.
But when
It makes it harder as well when you go out to eat. You know.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I was going to say when we get to a certain percentage, maybe I don't know, 3% or 5% or whatever, then the rest will follow suit, like everything else.
Yeah, it seems to be taking a long time. I thought it would have reached that number by now, like over the last 10 years, you know. That's what I thought.
Activism helps you reach that number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Well, I have spoken to people like locally from where I live.
Okay.
And I've met people with heart conditions. And, you know, I suggested Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease,
Yeah.
which recommends 100% vegan and also no oil, you know,
Yeah.
and whole food, plant-based. So yeah, have like, and the environmental reasons, I mentioned that too, like, where I'm from, it's Ireland, it's very meat and dairy. Much of the economy is meat and dairy, you know?
Okay.
Big exporter of meat. So I'm not sure. People aren't that receptive in Ireland, you know.
Well, I think it depends on how you choose. You know, you have to choose the right people to talk to. Some people are reachable, and some people are not reachable. And so, it's selecting, if you will, the ones who really deserve, our time. So if you're interested, you just Google Barcelona Anonymous for the Voiceless group, or you just send me a WhatsApp. My number is very easy. It's 600 999 600.
Right. Yeah, I'd consider doing a bit more. As I said, when
I have plenty of videos of people going vegan, people crying, people on the spot.
I know I've seen these images. I know they're disgusting. I mean, I don't know. It's, that was part of the reason I went vegan. And a health reason, and all three reasons.
Yeah.
I had a lot of weight, couldn't lose it. But like I would have thought the health reason would be enough to, like
But people don't care about health. They know smoking is bad. They keep on smoking.
Like to my mind, like yeah, that's true. But smoking doesn't. You're not doing harm, like only to yourself.
Yeah, but they don't care. People don't care about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would have thought like.
What I was trying to say is that people want to have a good time, but they don't really care about taking care of themselves. And everybody knows this is the number one cause or the main cause of environmental destruction, yet nobody's doing anything about it. So I'm here to talk about ethics more than the environment or health reasons, because most people nowadays already know it's not necessary to eat animals and their secretions, and they know that meat causes cancer.
And yet they do it.
And yet they do it, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm here to talk to...
To me that makes no sense, because it seems to me like if a vegan diet is at least as healthy as... then there's no justification for it. Unless you have to, unless you're in a situation of starvation.
Exactly.
And you have to kill something to eat to survive.
People are highly irrational, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I was saying, you have Facebook?
I have an account, I don't use it though.
Oh.
But I mean, I can do what I can, I can do a bit,
Just trying once. If you think it's not your thing, then you forget about it. I'll give you my number just in case.
Okay, thank you.
And you have my Facebook, my Instagram, and everything behind.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing this anyway, I know I sounded cynical at the start. I probably thought there would have been more progress in the last 10 years, but that's not your fault. It's just the way people are, and the way the diet industry and nutrition confusion and addiction, I suppose. Addiction maybe. Well, animal products don't taste good unless you add salt to them or something, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Is it? I can't figure it out. It's,
You cannot figure out what?
like why exactly the percentage is so low still?
Okay.
It's down at 1%.
Well, I think it's because people are lazy. They are unmotivated. They just wanna. They don't want to change. They don't want to think too much. They don't question things. This is the average Joe, unfortunately. So that's why we have to reach the ritual ones. And then again, when we get to a certain amount of people going vegan, then it's going to be so popular that everybody else will follow suit. So we don't have to think about veganizing 8 billion people, because that's impossible. It's going to be it's going to take it needs its process, so to speak. But if we do nothing, if we vegans do absolutely nothing, then we won't see the change. We have to actually go out on the streets and talk to people, because they are the ones who are paying this. And if you veganize someone, that person will talk to other people. And some people don't go vegan on the spot, but they agree with us about everything, 100%. And that's also a good interaction. And there's a huge amount of people that you can talk to in a day or in a few hours.
What about the perception that veganism is expensive?
Well, we tell them that the cheapest food is potatoes, rice, legumes, etc.
I'm a big fan of John McDougall's website.
John McDougall? Oh yeah, the Irish doctor, yeah.
He had a starch.
Starch.
He had a very good book called The Starch Solution.
Yeah, Starch Solution, yeah.
Very great book, fantastic book. And it's vegan, and it's no oil as well, but it's also vegan, of course.
So you know the vegan doctors then, but you
Yes,
still.
I have done some research.
But you still have some doubts, as I can see. You still think that you're not 100% sure that a whole plant-based diet is the healthiest diet ever. You have your little doubts, yeah?
Not much. It's like I guess I'm about 95% 5%.
And what do you think this is so interesting?
It's just in case some new evidence emerges, but I don't think it will. You know, it's just I just have this tendency at the moment not to be 100%, but like I'm confident enough. Like if I'm 95%, I guess, you know, 100%. I'm going to keep doing it. Like I haven't noticed any health issues, you know. But I think people, like, if they do something that's very unconventional, and they experience some deterioration in their health, they may attribute it to their vegan diet. It's just human psychology.
Yeah.
Could get in the way of them looking clearly at why they have the health issue. You know? That could be, because it's so unconventional. It's still only 1% or something, or 2%. You know.
Are you talking about the quotes and quotes ex-vegans? People who, yeah.
I have a feeling that a lot of them, they probably ate a lot of junk food, and even if they didn't, they had other problems.
Yeah.
And they misattributed their problems to their vegan diet.
Exactly.
You know?
And you have plenty of these videos, with other vegan doctors debunking their BS on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the side of the vegan doctors, especially the low-fat, like the Esselston, McDougall, that camp, you know. Definitely, you know, I'm going to persist with it. But I'm just a bit worried that people might think it's expensive, and you know, all these ultra-processed foods.
Yep.
I'd like to see like meals, ready meals that would like be things like lentil stews,
Yes.
mashed potato, instead of fake meats.
Well, the fake meats only attract the ones who want to have the same texture and the same taste. As a matter of fact, I meet meat eaters who have no intentions to go vegan, or apparently they don't really care about this, but they say to me that they prefer the vegan replicas because they say they taste better. What I was going to say is that even the replicas, the burgers and everything, can be made without absolutely any chemicals whatsoever. But I sometimes have a list of all the harmful chemicals and stuff that causes cancer, a huge list printed for people to compare all the bad stuff in animal products and the quotes and quotes bad stuff in the vegan replicas, which, as you said, you only thought of one thing, which is coconut oil. What is there? What else can you think of?
I think there's some concern.
Isolated proteins, you said,
Yeah.
and apart from that,
Maybe a lot of salt. I don't know.
salt. Well, everything has salt. I mean,
Well, that's true.
the non-vegan stuff is plenty of salt as well.
That's
So,
true.
so then what? Just coconut oil and isolated protein? Is that it?
Yeah.
Compared to- yeah.
I guess I'd like to see more convenience foods that are like really good. Like as I said, maybe lentil stews, mashed potato, a vegetable, like in a large portion, because like very often the vegan portions are not.
In a restaurant, you mean?
They're not food. Like, you know,
In a
it's not
restaurant, you
food.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, in a restaurant or maybe in supermarkets. You know, like where you can get these ready meals you put in the microwave oven. I'd like to see more of them with like more starches and just bigger volume of food.
Bigger volume. Okay.
Because because you might need to eat more lentils, more of a lentil stew than maybe a steak, to get the same satisfaction,
Yeah.
fullness. That's what I'd like to see.
Well, it's
I don't.
interesting.
No one's doing it though.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
It's
I
interesting
haven't
about the fullness thing, because I eat basically fruits and vegetables, and I eat raw,
seen it. Oh, really?
and I don't need to eat much, and I'm always full after eating because it has a lot of what's the right word? What? No, I was looking for the other fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you eat raw all the time?
Yeah.
And
And I consider myself an athlete as well, because I'm going to the mountain over there. I guess you know the mountain. Well, I don't know if you know the mountain. It's called. There's a church on top of the hill, and that church is called Tibidabo.
oh yes, I was up there before. Yeah.
So I'm going there with my bike.
Oh really? Yeah. Oh, that's a steep climb.
Yeah, 500 meters. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have vegan. No. You have marathon athletes who don't consider themselves vegan, or they don't mention about veganism. They just. In order to be a marathon athlete, you have to be really, really fit.
Yeah.
And these people call themselves fruitarian because
Yes.
they basically eat fruits
Yes.
and a small amount of dark leafy greens, and that's it.
Yes.
You have a Jewish, a very famous Jewish marathon athlete. His name is Michael. I always forget his name.
I think I know his name.
You know him?
Arnstein.
Exactly. So there you go.
Arnstein or whatever.
Why worrying about?
Yeah, I was impressed by his videos. The thing is, that's very expensive though. Like eating lots of, he eats 90% fruit or something.
Yeah, he eats a lot because obviously he makes a lot of physical,
Yeah. He has to go to a wholesalers, I think, and buy big crates.
Yeah.
Because-
And he has-
to buy fruit in the supermarket would be extremely expensive. To buy the quantities he has to buy, he goes to wholesalers. And still, it's an awful lot of money. Like, and he's a wealthy guy, you know.
But we're talking about
Yeah.
an athlete.
But I agree, it's a good point. He does really well on it. Yeah.
But we're talking about an athlete who makes a very, very strenuous, exercise.
Yeah, anyway, it's good talking to you, and it's interesting. My brothers are vegan, or near enough to it, you know.
Okay.
So some family members did change,
Okay, that's good.
and they had ethical issues with animal products as well. Like. So,
Do you live here now?
no, I live in Ireland. I'm just here on holiday.
Okay.
So been here a good few times.
So how long are you staying?
Another few days.
Another few days.
And how long are you vegan?
I went vegan in 2010.
Okay. So that's, like 14 years in. Did you notice any changes in your health or fitness or?
Well, the thing is, before I was vegan, I already did not eat animal products. I was calling myself macrobiotic, whatever that means. But you see, there's a huge difference between going plant-based or being strict macrobiotic and going vegan. It has nothing to do with health. It's about the animals, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, well, to my mind, as I said, like if a vegan diet is at least as healthy as a conventional diet, then there's no justification for killing animals or exploiting them unless you have to, unless
Exactly.
you're in a survival situation, you know. So I think the health does have some kind of a bearing.
Yeah, but you see,
It's a cultural thing.
it's a cultural thing as well. But people don't go vegan for health reasons or for the environment. They go plant-based for that.
Yeah,
So going vegan is an ethical thing.
yeah.
In my case, I think it's really clear, right? Before I didn't eat animals, but I was not vegan. I was just whatever you want to call it, whole plant-based diet or macrobiotic or whatever. But obviously, if you're not vegan and you just decided to stop eating animals and their secretions for the environment or for health reasons, the people that do that, they probably eat animal products from time to time when they go to some birthday
Right.
party or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why they're not vegan.
Yeah,
A vegan would never ever do that, obviously.
Yeah, I'm actually like that. I don't think I've ever wavered. Maybe there was a couple of times when I had cow's milk in the last 10 years, but it was literally only. And then it became much easier to get soy milk and oat milk.
Yeah.
And now it's every soy milk and oat milk is much easier. So
Yeah.
it's great. Like, it's good that way. But they're still expensive. I mean, I see oat milk in there's some brands of oat milk, Alpro oat milk and soy milk. It's like $2.60 a liter or something. You know?
Well, you can do. You can make.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
No, I was going to say you can make your own oat milk at home.
That's true. That's true. Well, I get the cheap stuff. I get the cheap stuff in Aldi, you know. Mostly.
Aldi. Okay.
They have cheap oat milk. You know? It's just that Alpro are very expensive, and I know there's a supply and demand thing going on. But even so, it seems like too much. Like it seems $2.60. It's like 3 to 4 times the price of a liter of cow's milk, and like the production costs must be way lower.
Right.
So they must be making massive profits. It just seems out of proportion, you know, that Alpro would charge maybe 4 times the same for 4 times the cost of a litre of cow's milk. You know, for a product that's cheap to produce, essentially, compared
Yeah.
to those. It just seems for some, I don't know, it just seems out of proportion.
Yeah, but the thing is, as you probably know, animal products are subsidized,
Well, yeah, that's true.
and they would be way, you know.
Yeah.
And then when people say the same thing that you say, when I'm talking to a meat eater, that is, I say to them, okay, if you wanted to eat a burger or whatever coming from an animal right now, and you complain about the price of the vegan version, would you rather me slicing the throat of an animal for you to have that burger, or paying €1 or €2 more for that vegan version?
Yeah, that's
And then they get it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, what sickens me actually is in much of the US, for example, there are places where people cannot access like fruits and vegetables. All they have is fast food and
Where
liquor stores.
where exactly?
You know,
What
many
parts of?
impoverished parts of the US. You know?
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
And that to me is just very, very bad. You know? That people just they can't be vegan in the environments they live in. Because all they have is fast food giants, fast food places, and
You mean that they have?
supermarkets with no produce, and or very little produce. You know, that does go on, I believe, doesn't it? That is the case in much of the US. You know,
Well, what do you think about that? No, maybe my
food deserts are called, aren't they?
yeah. He's talking about
Access to vegan food,
Yeah, food deserts in the US. You know,
such as where
well, there's parts of the US, wasn't there a documentary about it where people can only get like all they have are fast food places to eat from, supermarkets that have very little fresh produce.
do you know exactly what parts of the U.S. The South, maybe some part of the
Yeah,
South?
probably. Yeah, more small some towns.
But it's hard for me to imagine that in the United States they cannot, grow vegetables and fruits instead of going to. It doesn't make much.
I live in the States,
Yeah.
many places, and there's food everywhere, access everywhere. Unless I can't imagine where there wouldn't be.
Was the produce expensive though? Was like vegetables like broccoli and those kind of things, were they expensive? 'Cause I thought in some parts of the US McDonald's burger is a lot cheaper than broccoli. And there's poor people in America that can't. All they can afford is to go to McDonald's, you know.
But you know,
That's the US, I suppose.
but you know,
Probably better here. like,
yeah. But in order to stop abusing animals, you don't have to necessarily eat broccoli if it's that expensive for whatever reason. You can eat potatoes.
That's
You
true.
get a bag of rice for the same amount as the burger.
Exactly.
Cook more.
Yeah, that's true.
So when people say about the vegan food is expensive, apart from saying what I said to you before, I also say that what is I think I already told you this. What is the cheapest? What is the food for the poor? I said to them, because in South America that's a kind of expression
That's true.
that says
Yeah. Grains and that, grain, potatoes, In Ireland it's potatoes. It's the main staple, you know.
Yeah, and by the way, now that you mentioned potatoes, according to Colin Campbell, that is, you could actually eat potatoes all year long, only,
Yeah.
and you would still have enough protein,
Yeah, the protein thing is a myth, isn't it?
obviously.
And how do you find B12? Do you take vitamin B12 still?
Yeah,
How often would you take it?
maybe once a month.
Like how many micrograms would you take?
I buy the ones that have 5,000.
Right, 5,000
Yeah,
micrograms.
and then I just take very small, tiny bites, and it lasts forever.
Is it like cyanocobalamin or is it methylcobalamin?
I tried both. I don't see any difference, or I don't know. I don't think there's that huge difference between the two.
Yeah.
I think Michael Greger is now recommending the other one.
Cyano, I think he recommends.
Yeah.
And some of them recommend methyl. Yeah. But I suppose you can take both. You can alternate or something.
Just in case.
Just in case, Get a blood test.
Last time I had a blood test, I had too much B12. So that's why I'm
here.
taking less and less now, because I had way too much.
Anyway.
So yeah, you have my WhatsApp just in case you want to send me a WhatsApp
yeah.
before you leave.
Yeah.
and you join us, and you try to talk to people,
Yeah, yeah,
or you can hear us, you can listen to us doing it.
yeah, yeah.
Or if you send me a WhatsApp, I could actually send you some of my interactions with people going vegan. But you have plenty of interactions.
Are you on YouTube or videos?
Yeah, but at the same
And you're
time,
interacting. You have videos on YouTube of you interacting with public.
yeah, if they don't mind me showing the videos. But at the same time, you have plenty of videos on YouTube by other activists like Joey.
Yeah,
I'm sure you know
I've seen-
Joey and Nothing
Yeah,
Head.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
So you can see them veganizing people as well.
It's interesting. Yeah, yeah. It's I know it's. I'm just disappointed it hasn't just taken off a bit more in the last 10 years. You know, but hopefully it will. Like, you know.
But more reason for you to try to veganize people
Yeah.
if it's going too slow.
Yeah, I do my little bit, I suppose. But yeah.
If you only veganize one person a year, it would be 365 new vegans a year.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And if every one of us did the same,
Yeah.
every one of us vegans, that is, 88 million, we would,
I know.
you know.
I do a little bit. I do bring it up now and again. Not as much as I did at the start, you know, but I do mention it a bit and say there's no need for animal cruelty. I say this, you know, kind of off the cuff a bit. You know, but yeah, anyway, good talking to you.
Thanks for
Pleasure.
chatting with me.
Yeah, I might look at some of your videos.
Okay.
Excellent.
Send me a WhatsApp and I'll send them to you, yes?
Yeah, great.
Thank you.